Welcome to the Horror Friendly Podcast.
It's not over till that bitch is dead.
Let's delve into that a bit deeper.
I'm going to be like the peacekeeper between you two tonight.
Don't fuck with the original.
Yeah, don't fuck with the original.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Horror Friendly Podcast, part of the You Run Podcast Network. My name is Katie, and I am joined by my wonderful co-host, Chantal. Hi, Chantal.
Hi.
So we're going to be doing something a little different for you guys for the next month or so. We've decided to do a little mini-series covering some of the incredible films showcased at the UK Film Festival FrightFest. We're so excited to introduce you to these films and give you a bit of our insight. Thanks so much for listening and enjoy. I'm ready.
Let's do this. So this week we are starting with An Taibhse, The Ghost, directed by John Farrelly.
So I think The Ghost is the translation of An Taibhse.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Good thinking, clearing that up. So An Taibhse is the first Irish language horror film ever made, a bone-chilling tale set against the haunting backdrop of Ireland's infamous famine era, 1852. Eamon and daughter Mary embark on a tranquil caretaker role at an isolated mansion during the unforgiving winter months, but their peaceful assignment unleashes a nightmare of supernatural proportions as a malevolent force awakens within the mansion's walls, stirring dark secrets from the past. With every creaking floorboard and flickering candle, suspense tightens its grip, leaving sanity hanging by a thread. So, what did you think of this one?
This film is right up my street. Like, it's got everything I absolutely love in it. It's like a folk horror anyway, which I have a lot of time for. I think just visually, it's very beautiful. I just love the story. I think the acting's amazing. And I think it's genuinely very scary as well and quite eerie. And yeah, I just think it's awesome. Yeah, what about you?
I really did enjoy it, and I think you're right. I think it is really eerie. It was for me, like it wasn't that it was quite long, but like not a lot happened in the whole film, and then all of a sudden at the end, like so much happens in like 30 seconds, and it's like, where the fuck did that come from? And I think that was an incredible way to do the reveal. Epileptic warning though, Jesus Christ. But it was incredible, but it was just so fast paced at the end. But I was like, where was that the rest of the film? Because the rest of the film was very tense, very suspenseful, doing all that build up. And for me, I was like, that bit could have been condensed, because again, we were watching two people, you know, in the middle of nowhere without a lot to do for months. And I was like, come on. There was actually a couple of bits though that I was still left questioning, which I kind of like, because again, even if at the end it kind of wraps everything up, I've still got questions and I want to ask someone who was involved, because I don't know if I was just confused, if I missed something. I don't know if you know, but yeah.
Okay.
Definitely not what I was expecting at all.
No, I wasn't really. Again, it was just one of those ones that I didn't really know what to expect. I hadn't really read much about it. No. I knew like the concept was cool of it being like the first ever Irish language horror film, which is fucking cool in itself. Yeah. I know John Farrelly has like plans to release. I think it's like a rom-com or something in the Irish language in the future. So I think that like he has ideas, and hopefully there'll be more things like that out there.
Yeah.
Because I think that's so important, and it's not a language that should just get lost. A very fucking cool language as well.
I think that is sorry to any Irish people who are about to be like, that's absolutely not true. But Ireland's obviously quite a small country. So it is one of those, like, if people don't speak the language and don't hear the language, it will get lost, because actually, like, yeah, like even over there now, there's a lot of English speakers. So I know they do take Irish as a second language, but it's the same as like Gaelic in Scotland or Welsh. Like you tend to get people who like are, can speak it fluently or know a few words. So I do think kind of embracing it a bit more is really powerful, and it will help it actually survive as a language. Because as you say, it's a really great language, but we just don't hear it a lot.
No, you don't hear it a lot. And sometimes I even found myself like, because obviously you really have to concentrate on this film, because not only are you obviously watching it, but you're also like reading the subtitles, trying to make some sense of it. But sometimes I found myself not even reading the subtitles because I was just so like, I was like, oh my God, I just was just so immersed in like what they were doing that I kind of was like getting it along the way, but I was like, no, okay, I have to start reading them. But like at some points I was just like watching those two just act together. I thought they were just brilliant.
And I think you are right though, because they were doing like so much tension building and everything, there were points you didn't need the subtitles, because either there wasn't a script, as in like there wasn't dialogue, sorry, or you just didn't need it because you could you knew exactly what was happening. It was weird. Especially when there's only two people, so you'd expect there to be loads of dialogue to kind of tell you the story, and you didn't need it. It was amazing.
I think just like visually it looked amazing as well. I think it was a very beautiful film. There's one particular scene which doesn't give anything away, but she's running in the woods, and I just think that's such a cool scene, and you've got the music behind it. I just think it looked great as well. There wasn't like a lot going on, but I think that was kind of what made it effective. But I also get what you mean in terms of like, it sort of did go from 0 to 100, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it was so much like from one extreme to the other.
And again, I'm not against that, because it's really annoying, because normally I would be against it, because you are trying to guess as you go along, and like no fucking, like a couple of clues, but nothing compared to that. Maybe I need to watch it again actually and be like, were there more clues I just completely missed? But I just think that reveal was so cool. I almost wish it had come a bit sooner, and then we could have seen the aftermath, because I think, and again, I'm trying not to give away spoilers, but I think it was such a horrifying reveal that actually that is the most horrifying thing. That is I just keep saying horror, but that's what it is, and that's what puts it into the genre. And also I loved the makeup in that bit when it was like flicking. I think it was really well done, and really showed, again, I don't want to say, but it just really showed the talent of the makeup artist to like perceive what they were doing. It was incredible.
Definitely.
I do find it so much harder not to give spoilers when it's like a 2-person film. We've had a few.
I know.
FrightFest, and it's weirdly harder because again, you don't want to give away any of the extra stuff that's going on.
No, you don't, because it's God, you just it doesn't seem like it, but there is so much going on in this film, that obviously there's a big reveal at the end, but like I mean I certainly didn't see it coming. I think like when it all gets revealed, and it gets revealed quite quickly, I think that does make it more horrifying though, because it's just like, wait, hang on, what have I just seen?
And I think the thing is, as it's getting closer to the reveal, you are putting it together. So then as the reveal is happening, you're like, no, not that. Oh, fuck. And it's like you say, it's so quick.
Anything but that. And
you almost second guess yourself, because you're like, did I just, no, oh God, I was right. And I think
that's so true. That's so true, because these scenes happen so quickly. You're like, wait, did I just make that up in my head? Hang on a minute.
You think you're the problem.
Am I the drama? But I actually found myself rewinding it just to make sure I'd seen. I mean, I had obviously seen it, right? It was very clear what was going on. And I think when you actually think about it, there are some hints building up to it throughout the film. But I did rewind it because I was like, I've got this right, haven't I? Kind of thing. Because you almost don't kind of want to trust yourself on what you've just seen.
And again, I don't want to say any more because I don't want to give it away. However, there are two big questions I have, which I'm going to ask you off camera.
Okay.
And I do wonder, as we said last week, if you want to slip into our DMs, anyone that's involved in the film, I really want to ask some questions. because again, until we can kind of talk about this more openly, there's just a couple of things that I just want to know more. I enjoyed it and I'm curious.
Well, John Farrelly, if you're listening, or if you by any chance you're listening, we want to talk. We have questions.
Yes,
Chantal has questions.
I always have questions. I think it's a good thing.
Great,
it's because I'm paying attention.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it is one of those films that you aren't meant to know everything. I don't think everything's meant to be wrapped up in a nice little bow. I think it is. You are meant to sort of feel quite uneasy and confused, somewhat confused when you finished it. I know I did.
You just sit there like, I'm going to go for a walk.
Yeah. I think it will. Yeah. It's very intense and it deals with a lot of difficult subjects very quickly. And yeah, I think that's a lot for the brain.
But again, try not to give anything away. What will be your wow moment for this film?
My wow moment was I was gonna be just boring and say boring. I was gonna be boring and say the ending because that's just like obviously an amazing moment. But I'm actually gonna say a bit sort of slightly prior to that where I don't think this is a spoiler when she goes down to the basement. Yeah, and what happens there happens. Yeah, I think that's mine. I haven't really been able to get that out of my head.
Yeah, no, that's just the turning point.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Sometimes,
and it was, and it really. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Tal. I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm just so emotional about this film. But I really got Shining vibes from this film.
I wrote The Shining down. I was literally like, it's giving The Shining.
Yes.
But when there's like one scene that sticks with you, that's like a good horror film when it like plays in your head and you just like, I just try to live my life.
Exactly. And
that work.
Yeah. I think the ending did that for me, but that attic scene particularly did it for me. So yeah. What about you? Do you have a wow moment?
So I've already mentioned the makeup because I did genuinely love it at the end. And I think it added such a level of creepiness and kind of I added to the storytelling. Again, not using dialogue, not using kind of typical things we've seen before. I think that was really added to it. And I really want to give that praise. But also the actors, again, we've said this before and we keep saying it with these sort of films, but when you have got only two actors for the majority of the film, they have to play off each other really well. They have to have, in this case, it was a father-daughter relationship. So they have to like have that trust, have that ability to like show all different types of emotion because it is just watching two people on screen. Like to keep us engaged, it has to be like shit hot acting. So I'll give them, I'm really apologetic if I say these names wrong, but Tom Kerisk and Livy Hill, I think they did amazing. So yeah, I think they will be my wow moment.
Yeah, that's so true. They were absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Awesome. How many spookies are you giving An Taibhse out of 5?
I think I'm gonna go 3.5. And I know like I literally sat here and like I love it. However, I do think if it had been a bit more condensed, I'd probably go higher. But 3.5 is still pretty high. It's just I think just a little bit squashed. Again, it's just I think that ending just shoots it up like because I haven't seen anything like that. So yeah, what about you?
Nice. I'm gonna go 4.5. I absolutely loved it. I loved, as I said, the sort of folk aspect of it. I thought it just looked so visually beautiful. I think the posters for it are just incredible. I think John Farrelly is going to go places. Honestly, I think it's just one of my favorites, I think, of FrightFest.
Wow.
It's fully sold out at FrightFest, and rightly so, I think.
Yeah. I hadn't actually looked at the poster because again, I've kind of avoided everything until we've watched the film. And I hadn't thought about that. And I've just looked at it and that is really cool. Really fucking cool poster.
It's so cool. So yeah, 4.5. I absolutely loved it. I'd watch it again in a heartbeat.
Who would we recommend it to?
I think maybe if you're a fan of like Eggers films, like The Witch, sort of. I'm trying to think what else.
I was gonna say The Shining, but
The Shining and The Witch kind of mixed together. I feel like
this is a little. This is a hard one actually. Who I'd recommend it to? Because I would say like if you like a haunted, like ghosty type film, haunting type, but not necessarily. It's weird, not like paranormal. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I think if you like sort of Ari Aster films, like obviously like Midsummer, Hereditary, that kind of thing, that is quite like mentally intense, but also very visually, very beautiful.
I'm trying to think how to word it without giving away spoilers, but something along those lines where it's like it plays on like the human sort of psyche as well, I think. So those sort of films. And again, try not to give spoilers, but
I know.
Yeah, something that plays on like human emotion, I think. If you enjoy that, this is your film.
Yeah, nice.
But yes, Carl, I actually can't wait for this one to be out because I do know a few people that would love it, so I can't wait to recommend it to them. Enjoy,
guys.